Yuki Tsunoda's seat for 2026 is under a massive question mark, and with performances like his, it's only natural that the F1 media is buzzing about potential replacements. One name that's been coming up more and more often is Arvid Lindblad, and with Hajar and Lawson delivering stellar performances for Racing Bulls, the question becomes, could Tsunoda find himself out of the Red Bull family entirely by 2026? Even more importantly, if that happens, is it already too late for him to secure another team, which could force him to sit out at least one full season? There is no doubt that Yuki Tsunoda's position within Red Bull has been extremely volatile, once seen as the perfect number 2 driver after Perez. He's now a driver who's managed to score just 7 points in 12 races. His back is firmly against the wall, and to make matters worse, Isack Hadjar is having an outstanding season with Racing Bulls, despite a 5-race drought without points since Spain, while Liam Lawson has rediscovered his form and sits just 2 points behind his teammate. The numbers tell the story. Hadjar has 22 points. Lawson sits close behind with 20, while Tsunoda only has 10. And the kicker, he's the one driving for the senior team, that suggests something is fundamentally wrong with his approach to the car. Now, I could fully blame the RB21, especially considering how dramatically Perez's performance deteriorated before he was eventually sacked. But Tsunoda himself said, "I can tame the car." However, when it came time to prove it, when the spotlight was brightest, things went wrong. The Imola crash delivered a massive blow to his already fragile confidence, and even when he came close to matching Max over 1 lap in Budapest, it still wasn't enough to break into Q3. So, what does the future hold for him? According to Red Bull's current team principal, Laurent Mekies, the goal remains the same: give Tsunoda enough time to adapt until the end of this season. But let's be honest, those words feel carefully chosen. It's hard to believe Yuki will get another chance in 2026 if he doesn't improve drastically in the remainder of this campaign. And let's not forget, that second Red Bull seat has already cost the team millions in Constructors' Championship prize money. Mekies emphasized that the priority is to give Yuki everything he needs to perform. That's where the team is fully concentrated. They've been trying for several races to help him take a step forward. Spa was encouraging, Hungary was tricky and harder to judge. But the bottom line is clear. There's no reason Yuki's performances shouldn't at least match what we've seen from him in the past. That said, we also need to be objective here. A huge part of the problem lies in the car itself. Red Bull's approach has been questionable. Its technical development is shaky at best. Even Max has voiced concerns, constantly changing drivers and expecting them to instantly click with the difficult nature of the RB21, without addressing the root issues, is simply not the right way to set priorities. But hey, that's Red Bull's choice, and their approach has led us to this reality. Tsunoda's F1 seat is in serious danger. He must now accept that the scenario of being without a seat in 2026 is very real, and if Red Bull does replace him, one thing is certain: he won't be back at Racing Bulls. He's been with them for 5 years, and the team has already made their stance clear. They want fresh, young drivers. Sure, Yuki is young, but he's not Arvid Lindblad young. And Lindblad, the current F2 star, is just waiting for his chance. He's hungry to step into the Red Bull family and prove himself. But regardless of who Red Bull selects as Yuki's replacement, there's one huge question hanging in the air. Is that seat even a real promotion? Think about it. We've seen Lawson bounce back with Red Bull after only 2 races. And we've seen Perez already in talks with teams like Cadillac, who are willing to overlook his poor Red Bull stint. So are the drivers truly at fault for failing to push this car to the extreme like Max does? Or is it the car itself? Because let's be real, when you join Racing Bulls, the only path forward is a Red Bull seat. And while Yuki's results this year are questionable, you can't help but sympathize. He joined at the wrong time, in the wrong circumstances. He waited patiently for opportunities, outperformed Ricciardo and De Vries when his back was against the wall in the junior team, and now suddenly he can't deliver when it matters most. It's frustrating, and Yuki has every right to feel that way. Now, if we look at who holds the advantage, Isack Hadjar clearly takes priority when it comes to promotion. His rookie season has been nothing short of incredible for a driver in a sister team. He's shown maturity beyond his years. Remember how his season started in Australia? He was called out by Helmut Marko, only to respond with a rampage of performances that led to Marko himself calling him in the air. Is that seat even a real promotion? Think about it. We've seen Lawson bounce back with Red Bull after only 2 races, and we've seen Perez already in talks with teams like Cadillac, who are willing to overlook his poor Red Bull stint. So are the drivers truly at fault for failing to push this car to the extreme like Max does? Or is it the car itself? Because let's be real, when you join Racing Bulls, the only path forward is a Red Bull seat, and while Yuki's results this year are questionable, you can't help but sympathize. He joined at the wrong time, in the wrong circumstances. He waited patiently for opportunities, outperformed Ricciardo and De Vries, when his back was against the wall in the junior team, and now suddenly he can't deliver when it matters most. It's frustrating, and Yuki has every right to feel that way. Now, if we look at who holds the advantage, Isaac Hadjar clearly takes priority when it comes to promotion. His rookie season has been nothing short of incredible for a driver in a sister team. He's shown maturity beyond his years. Remember how his season started in Australia? He was called out by Helmut Marko, only to respond with a rampage of performances that led to Marko himself calling him the revelation of the year. That's a massive turnaround, yet even Hadjar admitted he might not be ready for the big seat, especially considering how volatile the jump to Red Bull has been for others before him. Meanwhile, Liam Lawson is also in the mix. His chances looked slim not too long ago, but his recent strong finishes have put him back in contention. The key advantage Lawson holds is his close working relationship with Laurent Mex back at Racing Bulls. While Lawson only has a 2-race stint in the RB21, he's at least had some seat time. That alone won't determine Red Bull's decision. But Lawson's resilience is impressive. He's proven the doubters wrong by scoring P6 in Austria and back-to-back points in Spa and Hungary. In fact, he scored points in 3 of the last 5 races, carrying serious momentum into the second half of the season. That alone could push Red Bull to strongly consider a recall for the Kiwi. When asked about his future, Lawson himself stayed humble, saying, "Honestly, in terms of my future, it's been so busy this year that I'm not really thinking about it right now. I'm focused on having good races. We've had some strong performances, but 3 of them isn't enough over 12 races. We need more of this, and then we'll see." His focus is clear, but his performances speak louder than words, and so we return to the big question. What's next for Tsunoda? If Arvid Lindblad earns a Racing Bulls seat, then 3 drivers won't fit into 2 spots, meaning one of the current Racing Bulls drivers must be promoted to Red Bull. That almost guarantees Yuki is left without a seat. Helmut Marko has already warned that this is a very high possibility. Right now, Yuki is banking heavily on his Honda connections. The Japanese manufacturer is locked into an exclusive contract with Aston Martin, whose lineup has question marks of its own. Alonso is nearing retirement, and the Lawrence-Lance dynamic will always spark debate. But Aston Martin has already confirmed their lineup for 2026, which means if Yuki wants that seat, it won't be until beyond 2026. That means he'd likely have to sit out for a year, unless Cadillac stirs the pot. The American team could potentially look at Yuki as their young gun to pair alongside an experienced veteran. But the general belief is that Cadillac will go with a safer, more experienced lineup, likely Bottas and Perez. If that happens, yet another door slams shut for Yuki. The reality is simple: Yuki Tsunoda is in a very difficult position. The only way out is performance. He needs to start delivering results like Lawson has in recent races. Otherwise, his future in Formula One could be finished. So now, we'll turn it to you. Do you think Yuki's time with Red Bull is officially done and dusted? And if so, who do you believe should replace him? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.